Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Capitalist Investor. As always, you got me, Diamond Hands D, and we got the boys back again. Tony, the Tiger, Cool Hands Luke. What's going on, guys?
Can't get rid of me yet.
No, I'll tell you what, the office is trying hard, and not in a sense that there's just like an outbreak going on. Everyone's sick.
Oh yeah.
Everyone, like except me.
I'm okay
I was sick
for it
maybe
now.
A month ago with a 2-week cough, but everyone's got like going down with these like 24-hour fevers and stuff. It's crazy.
The vid.
Watch yourself.
Everyone's got the vid.
I don't know what I mean, but is it?
I don't know. Apparently, there's a new strain.
There's something coming.
Pfizer's been rocking the past 2 days. You got Novavax, a couple other, the vaccine stocks are rocking because apparently there's a new virus. That's what they say. The COVID strain.
Well, I read into that. I think. I mean, again, what do I believe? But they said the reason you're not keep on hearing about it is that it's like some beefed up flu cold thing. It's not a weird strain of COVID that no one's ever seen before. That's what I read.
We're never going to get away from this now.
I hear conspiracy theory talk. I love it.
I know.
Well, we're going to keep these episodes. This week's going to be a 15-minute episode.
And
next week's going to be a 15-minute episode. I know everyone's going to be busy around the holidays. If you guys get bored, just throw on the Capitalist Investor.
15-minute.
Disconnect from your family for a little bit. We all love our fams, but sometimes it's
doing
a lot.
some last-minute Christmas shopping.
That's right.
Like throw it on.
That's right. So what do we got this week, and maybe tee up next week as well, real quick.
All right. So we got. We're going to talk about coffee badging. What that's all about. Heard that. Is the U.S. silently slipping into depression? Economists are worried about social media like TikTok and things like that. We'll talk about that, and then are canceled. And we'll get to that here in a moment. But your job may be at stake.
My job,
your job, my job.
Everybody.
This whole office going down.
This whole world's at stake.
AI's taking our seats. All right, coffee badging. So I think Luke, you found this article where so last year, or maybe within the last 2 years, there was the big craze called quiet quitting, right? These crazy terms of people coming in. So quiet quitting was, like I don't like my job. So rather than resigning and turning off the paycheck, I'm just going to stop working and let them notice that I'm not working. And then they'll have them fire me and maybe get a severance, all this. Yeah, so the quiet quitting, it's unique technique out there. Today the new term is coffee badging. The coffee badger, but no, the coffee badging is where you come in, you swipe your badge. So that's the badging part, right? And then you clock in. Go grab a cup of coffee and make your laps around the office, let you be seen. Once you're seen by nearly everyone, make some conversations, you go home and work.
So coffee badger's not me stealing Derek's coffee when I walk in and
no, that's
some
me.
random ones.
I made my French press coffee
every time?
A few weeks ago. And somebody drank it before I even got to it. No, not. I made a sign. I made a big ass sign that says, "Stay away from my coffee." It says, "Did you make this coffee?" ... Then don't drink it.
It did taste really good, though.
You son of a bitch.
No, but this is interesting because at all the big corporations, as you know, there's a lot of inefficiencies the bigger you get as a company. So a lot of these big corporations will track whether a person comes in or not just by their badge swipe. You don't have to be seen. So you can literally walk into these like the Teslas of the world, Microsofts, Googles of the world, swipe your badge, get your cup of coffee, then end up leaving some way somehow at the back door.
How do you log out though?
Well, I'm sure there's back doors, ways to get out of the premises without swiping again.
It's Elon Musk, man. You'd think he's the most technology savvy person, man. He probably has all the monitors.
Data. Yeah, well, you never know. But
anyway.
But they're at least swiping in, trying to get their face seen, like you said. And this is the state of the world we live in. The bigger issue at play is that there are people that do this. They don't respect their own job. Like they don't have enough respect for themselves to say, I care about my job enough and adding productivity to the system to actually show up to work and do my job because my superiors are telling me to do so. There's a lack of respect in today's world. That's the bigger issue at play, is that the fact that this is actually happening, and the younger generations, including my generation, are so lost in the fact that they don't actually understand how the system works anymore.
I don't know, man. I think we're obviously creatures of habit, and we get used to things quickly. And when you're sitting at home and you made your home office and, you know, you're working from home and you're able to go mix in a thing of laundry and make yourself a nice lunch and grill out and whatever you're doing at home and working simultaneously, you take that away and now the mentality like you're forcing me to come to jail. Like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be around anybody. I enjoy my being secluded at my house and doing what I want to do when I want to do it. And
I think everyone should work for a small business because this stuff doesn't happen.
We never closed down, so I don't have this. Like, I hated it. It took me way too long to get comfortable to like be.
Well, let's say if you work
efficient.
for a company, let's say like ours, we got 20 to 30 employees, right, somewhere in between there. One guy doesn't do their job, doesn't show up to work. Like, there's a big lack of productivity, a big lack of work that's being done by one person not showing up. When there's 10,000 people and one person doesn't show up or is coffee badge and whatever it be, then you can kind of get away with it. And this is the problem, that the bigger you get, the inefficiencies you get, but also it teaches the young people to not respect their work.
What do you think, D? You coming in coffee badging?
I'm not. We don't have. Well, I guess we do have a badge technically on the side door to get in.
I have a key.
Oh, yeah.
So
I have
you don't track my shit.
Yeah, you know, I think I think what Luke said is extremely accurate. You know, it's there used to be, you know, rightly or wrongly, some pride involved in the job that you would do. You know, you would see, you know, it's hard to say because some of those people get taken advantage of as well by their employer. I think you see that a lot from like the generation before us, right? There was hey, you just have to work 50 to 60 hours a week at this job. Like, it's just expected, right? You're not going to take much vacation. And slowly people started revolting from that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I totally agree with Luke, but it is a two-way problem that has come to a head.
Real quick, I know we were time's up, but there's a disconnect now between having a job and having a career.
Right.
You go to college to get a career.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the problem that people get themselves in trouble, why college doesn't pay off as well as people think that it should.
Yep.
It's because they don't look at their job as a career. They look at it as a job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to work, get a paycheck, and that's all I'm going
Right.
to do. They aren't looking for that growth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem.
Well,
Anyway.
I mean, I started off college. I have an engineering degree, and I do this, and that's why everyone asks me, like, how the hell does that correlate, right?
Solving problems.
But yes, I can tell the story on how it correlates, but I don't do what I learned in college, right?
But you switched, you created a career.
I made a career move.
Yeah, you're you know,
I'm
co-founder,
yeah.
SWP, like, you know, it's a career.
I'm like
it's not a job.
I'm-
This is not go. You show up to work in a job. You're building.
I'm like Keanu Reeves in the Matrix. I'm like like I'm
Right.
wired in this place. I can't get out.
Now we know, Tony. Literally, I think you were here till like 9 p.m. last night.
I might have been.
Anyway.
All right. The U.S. is in a silent depression ? Economists are worried that viral TikTok and other maybe Instagram and Facebook posts and stuff are making us depressed. I would have to say I would agree with that. When you're on TV, or I'm sorry, when you're on all these social media things and you're watching all these celebrities or maybe even people you used to know, and they're like extravagant vacations and cool houses and cool cars and cool watches and fake bodies and whatever they're strapping on.
Just my six packs. Just
yeah,
rocking.
yeah, like the lipo,
That's
man.
my belly
Is
just
it
hangs
paying
over.
off? All right. I mean, but seriously though, like I would have to say, yeah, like we all think we should be living a certain way. It's the modern day keeping up with the Joneses. It's exactly what it is.
There's no doubt.
Like I used to
about
be able to go up and down my block. I'm like, oh, so and so got a new car. That means now I just turn on TV like the thing, and it's like Lambos and Ferraris and Corvettes and just ridiculousness, right?
Yeah.
So lost. People are so lost.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. I mean, I'm the generation this is first being tested on. I mean, literally, I grew up in the first wave of social media. As I was getting older, and cell phones for the first time coming out when I was like 12 years old, 11 years old, right? Or like smartphones coming out, 11, 12 years old. there's no doubt about it. Mental health is the biggest, one of the biggest issues, if not the biggest issue in today's world. Suicide rates are highest ever in history.
The spike in the I saw the thing yesterday, like the 10-year teenage suicide rate is up like 60% over the last decade or something.
You know why? It's interesting. We are the most bored we've ever been as a society. We have the most things to do.
Yeah.
But also we're the most bored, and like we are just addicted to these dopamine rushes of social media, swiping, trying to get attention, approval from other people. We're always comparing ourselves, like you said, to other people, 100%. Like 100%. There's this constant ego, like everyone's has an ego. Everyone's narcissistic in today's world. I mean, the younger people at least are. I observe it all the time. I think everyone has to have some sort of like realization that what's important in life is the old school stuff, family.
I mean, just
religion. Lack of religion is another reason. No moral foundation. I don't care what religion you have, but there's lack of morals in today's world too, which is leading to unhappiness.
Yeah, I mean, we can see what happened in the White House in D.C. this year. Two illicit acts of degenerate / maybe slightly illegal.
Well, no respect. Again, no respect.
They found drugs in the White House and inappropriate behavior in the courtrooms in the place where the Senate and stuff hang out.
Don't know whose drugs they were, though.
And to duck Congress of our institution of our congressional constitution. Like, it's crazy.
Like, imagine that.
Well,
imagine
you said you don't even go out to dinner anymore. Staying away from this stuff, huh, D?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's there's just less joy, I would say. It seems to be that everyone needs to get topped, right? It needs to more and more and more and more. That takes away from some of the simpler joys in life.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll even use this example. So, like traveling, for example, now that I've been traveling a good bit for work, which it's cool. Like, it is cool. I get to like meet new people, but I'm always on trying to network, whatever, you find new things. I always wanted to travel growing up, but now it's like every time I don't want to travel now because I'm so exhausted from it. I don't get any more joy from traveling. Like vacation, even more sound. I want a staycation at this point, right?
I've done a couple staycations.
Yeah.
They're
like
healthy.
Going out to restaurants. It was kind of seen as for a lot of people, once or twice a week, it was kind of seen as something you didn't do often. You got excited to do it. Now everyone's going out 7 days a week, kind of like you mentioned. There's nothing like exciting about it anymore because everyone's so used to it. The more you do something, the less excited you are. And I feel like life is so middle class America complains they don't have any money. I get that times are tough, but your lifestyle has increased a lot the past 30, 40 years compared to back in the 70s and 80s when you took one vacation a year, had one car, one house, and you did nothing ever because you didn't have any money to do it, or you're too busy raising a family. My generation doesn't have kids. They're not getting married. They're spending money elsewhere.
Man, that's making me go back to my college days, man. I used to enjoy going out like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe all 3 days, maybe one day. Who knows?
I'm too old for that now.
But but think about it. Like you're going out, you want to see that chick you like and stuff, and the only way you're going to see her is you got to run into her because there wasn't Instagram, there wasn't anything. You had to literally.
Well, we own
I
Match
hope
Group.
she's going to be there. Hey.
Right.
Derek, do you know if she's gonna be there? And
we own Match Group, Tinder, Hinge, dating.
Dude, that stuff was not existent, and it was like I had to go and. Today I can hop on and see a picture of something like, I'm satisfied.
What's the term nowadays? You had to go use your Riz.
You call it Riz. I've seen the word, and
it's like you had to actually go talk to girls or guys. Girls had to talk to guys. Riz. Like you had to talk game. You had to talk some game.
Actually talking to people. Wild.
Crazy concept. All right, and let's get to the canceled. Tax and finance jobs are at risk by being replaced by AI.
Yes,
I feel like AI is losing its fizzle. I just don't. You don't hear about it as much. Like before, it was like going earlier in the year, midway through 2023. It's like AI. Like there's nothing there. So
people got bored. ChatGPT just
helping out
boring stuff.
Boring stuff. But all right. So I'll kick it to you. How do you feel about that, D?
I think every job is at risk by being replaced by AI. It's I would not put it towards the top of the list of what I would be worried about. Writers, I think, is the number one group I would be worried about, because I have seen that work and worked it myself. You can ask Chat GPT to do pretty much anything, and it'll spit out a story, a song, lyrics. It's crazy how fast that works. But there's the things that involve a human element. I think is going to take longer for people to trust that AI is going to do the job that they need it to do. You look at it with fully autonomous driving, right? It is much safer to have that computer drive the car than humans, statistically, right? But no one wants to let that computer drive if one person gets hurt, right? No one wants to look at it logically
until there's a glitch in the matrix,
right?
And the car goes off the road.
I love this. I'm sorry, do you have another thought?
No,
I love this topic after talking about what we just talked about with the mental health and things like that, and TikTok, social media, whatever, because it goes hand in hand. Okay, let's say finance, tax jobs, whether there's a trust factor, non-trust factor, AI is either going to exacerbate, is that the word I'm looking for? Exasperate the issues that we currently have that we just talked about, or it's going to solve the issues we just talked about. Because AI is supposed to fill, if it takes everyone's jobs, finance jobs, tax jobs, manufacturing, whatever you talk about, if it takes those jobs, it frees up time for people. And the question is, what do people do with their time? Are they using it for the purposes we just mentioned, the boredom factor, and just searching for that dopamine rush, excessive mentality? Are they using it for those purposes? Or are they going back to what actually matters? Family, spirituality, going back to traveling, seeing the world. Like, are they using it for the right purposes, their time? That's where there's a pessimistic view of where they have more time, it creates more time, more issues in the world, crime, things like boredom, whatever it be. Or the optimist view is, hey, gives people more time to do what they actually care about, what actually matters in life. I'm interested to see how this turns out in the next 50 years.
Yeah, I think, I kind of dissected them like CPA. So many people I need to talk to my CPA. Like, no one talks, some people do it, I guess, TurboTax and boom, boom, boom. But they're pulling the triggers and they're making things happen that they want to make happen in their financial life. If I just give it to a software, and who knows what it's going to pump out, then I got to check it because I don't trust it and things like that. But I have seen some crazy softwares though, where there's this tax software that you can take the front page of your 1040, put it on a PDF kind of screen, and it'll give you 10 tax tips. That's pretty impressive, right? But then again, do you want to do it? Can you do it? Does it even know you have a Roth IRA to do conversions? Does it know? Maybe not.
Well, the output's only as good as input.
What about flaws? Can AI really go in and do an audit, and really decipher what needs to be in what categories and stuff? So the higher end CPAs, I always feel they'll have to be a human touch. And then you also have that, I'll call it, when you're doing your taxes, you got your, white, the black and gray, or I'm sorry, black and white. It's right and wrong, and then there's that middle area, that gray area, that you can say, hey, no, it's really for this. Is it really? I'm gonna say it is. Hey, I'm gonna write this off because I'm a business owner. Blah blah blah.
Well, maybe they make the tax code simpler because of things like this, so that the technology can actually.
Good luck with that, dude.
I know.
Holy cow! Unwind this tax system. Phew. But then what about financial advisors? Can it replace my job?
No one can replace you, Tony.
Man, thanks, Luke. That's the holiday. That's the holiday spirit.
Yeah, holiday spirit for sure.
Holiday spirit. I appreciate that. Luke, I can't replace you either.
Thank you,
special boy.
That's not what a lot of people say about me, but
special boy. But think about the algos that are already out there, and you got AI being manipulated by other AI. Like they can maybe team up against each other, and then you get this huge whipsaw event. The market crashes, your account sells, and then it bounces back the next day. Like I
did research on this back in college, and it's been my theory of efficiently inefficient is what I call it. I mean, technology becomes so efficient that everything becomes inefficient because there's no discrepancies in the market or the economy because everything's so efficient. So therefore, there's no way for capitalistic system to work because everything's so efficient. There's no ways to take advantage of competitive nature.
Yeah, I mean, there was a movie called War Games.
Yeah,
it's computer generated war, right? I mean, that's crazy, and it was trying to enact what a human would do, right? And so like they're going back and forth. I'm going to game of chess is basically what the game wanted to play.
It's a good movie.
So, and then are they going to come up with financial planning strategies? Like I used this example a couple times where client got a sizable IRA, wants to buy a new house, knows that the house is going to cost $200,000 more than their current house. They need to finance. Is AI going to come up with strategies? Are they going to consider doing home equity lines rather than taking a distribution from your IRA? Does AI know? Is it going to know to ask that person saying, hey, when is your house going to be ready or built? Maybe you can take a distribution from your IRA and put it back in there in 60 days and not pay the tax. Does it know to do those kind of things? So I don't know. We'll find out.
We will find out.
I think it's going to be a combination. It's always going to be a combo, at least in our world, the advising world. People want that human interaction element. In my opinion, I think they always will want that.
I saw a meme on Facebook that said, in 1980. They're like, in 2023, we're going to have flying cars. And then they show a picture of like a hamburger. And then the wrapper says, please do not eat the wrapper. So who knows where this is going? Maybe we will be too so uneducated that we need AI to, function. Who knows? I hope not. Anyway,
I don't know how we function sometimes in society, today's world as it is.
All right. So Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas. Next week we got New Year's.
So whatever you celebrate this time of year, happy holidays, and we'll see you next week. And take us home, D. Anything else you want to add?
I think you did it.
Oh man,
yeah, everyone.
Well, I think next week you can kind of look into our episodes. We're talking about New Year's resolutions, both personal and financial.
Right.
And we're going to talk about some of our hot takes on the economy and world heading into next year.
All right, I like it.
Sounds good. Well, everyone, thanks for listening. Hit us up at info@swpconnect.com if you got any questions or ideas for shows, and we'll talk to you next week.
The opinions expressed in the podcast are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any investment, legal, financial, or tax strategy. It is only intended to provide education about the financial industry. Please consult a qualified professional about your individual needs.